Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Welcome. So great to have people here.
I know it's a little weird to actually look out and see people in the audience. It's been kind of not something we're used to recently, as you can imagine.
It feels like we're doing a real show.
Yeah, I'm excited. I hope you're excited. We got a real set still, even though you're not going to see the actors on stage here today. It's through the magic of theater and video, but we still have it here just to give that illusion going. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for joining us at home. I guess you can all imagine this has been a hectic year for sure. So much that a year can change, right? A year ago today, I was working with a theater company, and we had to make the very hard decision to postpone our opening night performance today. And that show obviously went on to get canceled. As did the show last year here. We made that decision. I think tomorrow's the 1 year anniversary.
We did 1 day of Tech Week,
Yeah.
and then we ended up shutting down.
Yeah. So a year ago, those are the decisions we were making. Today, before I came, my decision was asking my fiance which mask better went with my suit. So a lot can change in a year. And a lot can change in 7 months, which is how long ago it was when we started this show, at least with the students. Tom and I have been working on talking about this show for over a year now. Yeah, we talked about this show before we realized COVID was a thing. We just wanted to do something Shakespeare. And I'm very glad that we did, because you don't have to worry about rights. You don't have to worry about streaming. Billy Shakes doesn't care about any of that. But as you can see, this script I'm holding is something that we've been working on for a while. It's missing some pages. It's a little ratty-tatty. This is kind of how I think some of us feel after going through. It's a good visual of our insides at the moment. We've been through a lot. We've had a lot of obstacles throughout this all, as you can imagine. All the obstacles that normally happen in theater, as well as things such as having to shut down on the very first day of filming back on Halloween. We filmed 1 day of the show and then had to shut down because of making sure we put the safety for our students first. And we told them, we want to get this going, we're going to keep going. I don't think they really believed us, because I think a lot of them put the script away and be like, well, that's the last I have to read Shakespeare. So when they got that email in January saying, we're starting up again, a lot of them were like, oh, where's that script? I need to find it. Samson, can you print off another one for me? I have it memorized. I just want it for safekeeping. But we had a lot of things. We had just some change in cast members. We had, trying to think of some other things on tech that have happened as
Addition of tech who were able to be here in the spring that weren't in the fall.
Yep, and had to kind of retrain in some people. And then in the editing process, which we gave ourselves about 2.5 weeks to edit this, which to any normal person is probably like, oh, that's not bad. To anyone who's ever edited, they're like, are you crazy? An hour and 40-minute production in 2.5 weeks? Yeah, we are crazy.
For two people who have never edited anything.
Yeah, we are theater professionals, so we pretended like we knew what we were doing. Unfortunately, computers are not as convinced as that as an audience is, so it was a little tricky. We had stuff, I had my internet went out for a couple days, which made some tricky instances. And then even up until today, when I was finishing up the last scene, the audio disappeared randomly and took a couple extra hours just to figure out where the audio went. It's been a process, and we are happy to finally have that process at a completion, and very proud of all the work that all the students who are here today, the ones who are not here today, and even those in the fall who had helped us from the very beginning have contributed to this. It's been an amazing journey. So without any further ado, because I know you guys didn't come here to listen to me.
Screen has to come in.
More to listen to William Shakespeare. We're going to present with you A Midsummer Night's Dream. Enjoy the show, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Golf illustrate. Stir up the Athenian youth to merriments. Awake the pert and nimble spirit of mirth. Turn melancholy forth to funerals. The pale companion is not for our pomp. Hippolyta, I wooed thee with my sword, and won thy love doing the injuries. But I will wed thee in another key, with pomp, with triumph, and with reveling.
Happy be Theseus, our renowned Duke.
Thanks, good Aegeus. What's the news with thee?
Full of vexation come I with complaint against my child, my daughter Hermia. Stand forth, Demetrius. My noble lord, this man hath my consent to marry her. Stand forth, Lysander. My gracious Duke, this man hath bewitched the bosom of my child.
Evil spirit of mirth. Turn melancholy forth to funerals.
Thou,
The
Lysander.
pale companion is not for our pomp.
Thou hast given her rhyme and interchanged
Hippolyta,
love
I wooed thee
tokens
with my
with
sword,
her.
and won thy love doing the injuries.
Thou hast by
But
moonlight
I will
at
wed
her
thee in
window
another
sung
key,
with
with
feigning
pomp,
voice
with
verses
triumph,
of
and
feigning
with
love. And
Happy
stolen
be
the
Theseus,
impression
our
of
renowned
the
Duke.
fantasy.
Thanks, good Aegeus.
Bracelets
What's
of
the
thine
news with
hair
thee?
and rings full of vexation come I with complaint against my child,
Trifles,
my daughter
nosegays,
Hermia.
sweetmeats, messengers.
Stand forth,
of
Demetrius.
Strong
My noble lord,
hearted you.
this man hath my consent to marry her.
With cunning hast
Stand
thou
forth,
filched
Lysander.
my daughter's heart.
My
And
gracious
turned
Duke,
her
this
obedience,
man
which is
hath
due to
bewitched
me,
the bosom
into
of my
stubborn
Evil
hearts.
spirit of mirth. Turn melancholy forth to funerals.
Thou,
The
Lysander.
pale companion is not for our pomp.
Thou hast given her rhyme and interchanged
Hippolyta,
love
I wooed thee
tokens
with my
with
sword,
her.
and won thy love doing.
Marry Demetrius.
Then I beg the ancient privilege of Athens. As she is mine, I may dispose of vexation come I
Whether
with
that
complaint
be
against my
to
child,
this gentleman,
my daughter Hermia.
Sweetmeats, messengers.
Or to
Stand
forth,
forth.
Demetrius.
Strong
My noble
according
lord,
to the law immediately
this man
provided
hath
for
my
this
consent
case.
to marry her.
With cunning hast
Stand
What
forth,
say you,
Lysander.
Hermia?
my daughter's heart.
Be advised,
My
fair
gracious
maid, to
Duke,
you your father,
obedience,
Theseus,
which is
God.
due to me.
One that composed your beauties, yea, and one to whom you are but as a form in wax, by him imprinted and within his power, to leave the figure or disfigure it. Demetrius is a worthy gentleman.
So is Lysander.
In himself he is, but in this kind, wanting your father's voice, the other must be held the worthier.
I would my father looked but with my eyes.
Rather, your eyes must with his judgment look.
I do entreat your grace to pardon me. I know not by what power I am made bold, nor how it may concern my modesty in such a presence here to plead my thoughts, but I beseech your grace that I may know the worst that may befall of me in this case, if I refuse to wed Demetrius.
Either to die the death, or to abjure forever the society of men. Therefore, fair Hermia, question your desires, know of your youth, examine well your blood, whether if you yield not to your father's choice, you can endure the livery of a nun, for I to be in shady cloister mewed, to live a barren sister all your life, chanting faint hymns to the cold, fruitless moon. Thrice blessed they that so master their blood, to undergo such maiden pilgrimage, but earthlier happy is the rose distilled, than that which withering on the virgin thorn grows, lives, and dies in single blessedness.
So will I grow, so live, so die, my lord. Ere I will my virgin patent up unto his lordship, whose unwished yoke my soul consents not to give sovereignty.
Take time to pause, and by the next new moon, the sealing day betwixt my love and me for everlasting bond of fellowship. Upon that day, either prepare to die for disobedience to your father's will, or else to wed Demetrius as he would, or on Diana's altar to protest for I austerity and single life.
Relent, sweet Hermia, and Lysander, yield thy crazed title to thy certain right.
You have our father's love, Demetrius. Let me have Hermia's, and you marry him.
Scornful Lysander, true he hath my love, and what is mine, my love shall render him. And she is mine, and all my right I do estate unto Demetrius.
I am, my lord, as well derived as he, as well possessed. My love is more than his. My fortunes everywhere is fairly ranked, if not with vantage as Demetrius is, and, which is more than all these wealths can be, I am beloved of beauteous Hermia. Why should I not then prosecute my right? Demetrius, a vulture to his head, made love to Nodar's daughter Helena, and won her soul, and she, sweet lady, dotes, devoutly dotes in idolatry upon the spotted and inconstant man.
I must confess that I have heard so much, and what Demetrius thought to have spoke thereof, but being overfull in self-affairs, my mind did lose it. But Demetrius, come, and come, Aegeus, you shall go with me. I have some private schooling for you both. For you, fair Hermia, look you arm yourself to fit your fancies to your father's will, or else the law of Athens gives you up, which by no means we may extenuate, to death or to a vow of single life. Come, my Hippolyta, what cheer, my love? Demetrius and Aegeus, go along. I must employ you in some business against our nuptial, and confer with you of something that nearly concerns yourselves.
With duty and desire, we follow you.
How now, my love? Why is your cheek so pale? How chance roses there to fade so fast?
Belike for want of rain, which I could well disdain from the tempest of my eyes.
Ay me, for aught I could ever read, could ever hear by tale or history. The course of true love never did run smooth, but either it was different in blood.
Oh, spite, too old to be engaged, too young.
Or else misgrave through respective years.
Oh, cross, too high to be enthralled, too low.
Or else it stood upon the choice of friends.
Oh, hell, to choose love by another's eyes.
Or if there is a sympathy in choice. Or death, sickness did lace you to it, making it momentary as a sound, swift as a shadow, short as any dream, brief as a light in a cloud night, that in a spleen unfolds both heaven and earth. And ere man hath power to say, behold, the jaws of darkness do devour it up. So quick right things come to confusion.
If then true lovers have ever been crossed, it stands as an edict in destiny. Then let us teach our trial patience, as it is a customary cross, as due to love as thoughts and dreams and sighs, wishes and tears, poor fancy's followers.
A good persuasion. Therefore, hear me, Hermia. I have a widow aunt, a dowager, of great revenue, and she hath no child. From Athens is her house remote 7 leagues, and to that place the sharp Athenian law cannot pursue us. If thou lovest me then, steal forth thy father's house tomorrow night, and in the wood a league without the town, where I did meet thee once with Helena, to do observance to a morn of May. There will I stay for thee.
My good Lysander, I swear to thee by Cupid's strongest bow, by his best arrow with the golden head, by the simplicity of Venus's doves, by that which knitteth souls in prosperous loves, by that fire which burned the Carthage queen when the false Trojan under sail was seen, by all the vows that ever men have broke, in number more than ever women spoke. In that same place thou hast appointed me, tomorrow truly will I meet with thee.
Keep promise, love. Look, here comes Helena.
Godspeed, fair Helena. Whither away?
Calling me fair, but fair again unsay. Demetrius loves your fair, oh happy fair. Your eyes are lodestars, and your tongue sweet air, more tunable than lark to shepherd's ear, when wheat is green and hawthorn buds appear. Sickness is catching where favor is so. Yours would I catch, fair Hermia, ere I go. My ear should catch your voice, my eye your eye. My tongue should catch your tongue's sweet melody. Or the world mine, Demetrius being baited, the rest I give to you to be translated. Oh, teach me how you look, and with what art you sway the motion of Demetrius' heart.
I frown upon him, yet he loves me still.
Oh, that your frowns could teach my smile such skill.
I give him curses, yet he gives me love.
Oh, that my prayers could such affection move.
The more I hate, the more he follows me.
The more I love, the more he hateth me.
His folly, Helena, is no fault of mine.
None but your beauty, but that fault were mine.
Take comfort. He no more shall see my face. Lysander and myself will fly this place. Before the time I did Lysander see, seemed Athens as a paradise to me. Oh, then what graces in my love do dwell, he hath turned a heaven unto a hell.
Helen, to our minds we will unfold. Tomorrow night, when Phoebe doth behold her silver visage in the watery glass, decking with the pearl the bladed grass, a time that lovers' flight doth still conceal, through Athens' gates have we devised to steal.
And in the wood where often you and I, upon faint primrose beds were wont to lie, emptying our bosoms of their counsel sweet, there Lysander and myself shall meet. And thence from Athens turn away our eyes, to seek new friends and stranger companies. Farewell, sweet playfellow, pray thou for us, and good luck grant thee thou Demetrius. Lysander, we must starve our sight from lovers' food till morrow deep midnight.
I will, my Hermia. Helena, adieu. As you on him, Demetrius dotes on you.
How happy some or other some can be. Through Athens I am thought as fair as she. But what of that? Demetrius thinks not so, and he will not know all but he do know. And as he errs, doting on Hermia's eyes, I so admiring of his qualities, things so base and vile, holding no quantity. Love can transpose to form and dignity. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind. Nor hath love any judgment taste. wings and no eyes figure unheedy haste. And therefore love is said to be a child, for in choice he is so oft beguiled. As waggish boys in games themselves forswear, so the boy's love is perjured everywhere. For ere Demetrius looked upon Hermes' eyne, he swore down oaths that he were only mine. And when that halesome heat from Hermia felt, so he dissolved in showers of oaths did melt. I will go tell him of fair Hermia's flight, then to the woods tomorrow night pursue her. And for this intelligence, if I have thanks, it is a great expense. For ere and I mean to enrich my pain, to have a sight thither and back again.
Here, you are best to call them generally man by man according to the script. Here's a scroll of every man's name which is thought fit through all Athens to play in our interlude before the Duke and the Duchess on his wedding day at night. First, good Peter Quince, say what the play treats on, then read the names of the actors, and so grow to a point. Mary, our play is the most lamentable comedy, the most cruel death of Pyramus and Thisbe. A very good piece of work, I assure you, and a merry. Now, good Peter Quince, call forth your actors by the scroll. Masters, spread yourselves. Answer as I call you. Nick Bottom, the weaver. Ready, name what part I am for and proceed. You, Nick Bottom, are set down for Pyramus. What is Pyramus? A lover or a tyrant? A lover that kills himself most gallant for love. That will ask some tears in the true performing of it. If I do it, let the audience look to their eyes. I will move storms, I will condole in some measure. To the rest, yet my chief humor is set for a tyrant. I could play Hercules rarely, or a part to Terracatum to make all split. The raging rocks and shivering shocks shall break the locks of prison gates, and Phoebus' car shall shine from far and make and mar the foolish fates. That was lofty. Now, name the rest of the players. This is Hercules' vein, a tyrant's vein. A lover is more condoling. Francis Flute, the bellows mender. Here, Peter Quince. Flute, you must take Thisbe on you. What is a Thisbe? There's the wandering knight? It is the lady that Pyramus must love. Nay, Faith, let me not play woman. I have a beard coming. All in one part, and you shall play it in a mass, and you may speak your part as small as you will. And I may hide my face. Let me play Thisbe too. I'll speak in a monstrous little voice. Thisbe, Thisbe, ah, thy Pyramus, my lover dear, ah, thy Thisbe dear, and thy lady dear. No, no. You play no part but Pyramus. In flute, you Thisbe. Well, proceed. Robin Starveling, the tailor.
Here, Peter Quince.
Robin Starveling, you play Thisbe's mother. Myself, Thisbe's father. Snug the joiner, do the lion's part. And I hope here's a play fitted.
Have you the lion's part written for you? If it be, give it me, for I am slow of study.
You may do it extempore, for it is nothing but roaring. Let me play the lion too. I will roar. That'll do any man's heart good to hear me. I will roar that I will make the Duke say, let him roar again, let him roar again. Roar! And you should do it too terribly, that you would frighten the Duchess and the ladies, that they would shriek, that there would be enough to hang us all. That would hang us, every mother's son. I grant you, friends, that if we would frighten the ladies out of their wit, they would have no more discretion but to hang us. But I will aggravate my voice so that I will roar you as gently as any sucking dove. I will roar you as twere any nightingale. Roar. You can play no part but Pyramus. For Pyramus is a sweet-faced man, a proper man, as one shall see in a summer's day. The most lovely gentleman-like man. Therefore, you must needs play Pyramus. Well, I will undertake it. What beard were I best to play it in? Why, what that you will. I will discharge it in either your straw-colored beard, your orange tawny beard, your purple and grain beard, or your French crown beard, your perfect yellow. Some of your French crowns have no hair at all, and then you would be playing barefaced. But masters, here are your parts. I am to entreat you, request you, and desire you to come them by tomorrow night. Meet me at the Palace Wood, a mile without the town. There we will rehearse. For if we meet in the city, we shall be dogged by company, and our device is known. I will write a bill of properties, such as our play wants. And I pray you, fail me not. There we will meet, and we may rehearse most obscenely and courageously. Take pains, be perfect, adieu. At the Duke's Oak we meet. Enough! Hold your cut bowstrings!
How now, mad spirit? Whither wander you?
Over hill, over dale, through bush, through briar, over park, over pale, through flood, through fire. I do wander everywhere, swifter than the moon's sphere, and I serve the fairy queen to do her orbs upon the green. The cowslips tall, her pensioners be, in those gold coat spots you see, those be rubies, fairy favors, in those freckles live their savors. I must go seek some dewdrops here, and hang a pearl in every cowslip's ear. Farewell, thou love spirits, all be gone, or queen and all our elves come here anon.
The king doth keep his revels here tonight. Take heed the queen come not within his sight, for Oberon is passing fell and wrath, that she as her attendant hath a lovely boy, stolen from an Indian king. She never had so sweet a changeling, and jealous Oberon would have the child, night of his terrain to trace the forest wild. But she prefers withhold the loved boy, crowns him with flowers, and makes him all her joy. And now they never meet in grove or green, by fountain clear or beneath spangled starlight sheen. But they do swear that all their elves for fear creep into acorn cups and hide them there.
Either I mistake your shape in making white, or else you are the true and knavish sprite, called Robin Goodfellow, are not you he, that frights the mains of the villagery, skim milk and sometimes labor in the cord, and bootless make the breathless housewife churn, and sometime make their drink to bear no barn. Mislead thy wanderers, laughing at their harm. Those that hobgoblin call you, and sweet talk, you do their work, they shall have good luck. Are not you he?
Thou speakest right. I am that merry wanderer of the night. I jest to Oberon and make him smile when I a fat and bean-fed horse beguile, nay, in likeness of a filly foal. And sometime lurk I in a gossip's bowl, in very likeness of a roasted crab. And when she drinks, against her lips I bob, and on her with her dewlap pour the ale, the wisest aunt telling the saddest tale. But for some time a 3-foot stool maketh me, that I slip from her bum and down topples she, and Taylor cries and falls into a cough, and the whole choir hold their hips and laugh and wax it in their mirth, and knees and swear a merrier hour was never wasted there. But room fairy, here comes Oberon.
And here my mistress, would that he were gone.
Ill met by moonlight, proud Titania. What jealous Oberon! Fairy, skip hence, I've foreseen his bedding company. Tarry, rash wanton. Am not I thy lord? Then I must be thy lady, but I know when thou hast stolen away from fairyland, and
playing a corn sat all day, playing pipes of corn and bursting love. To a numbers fill it up. Why art thou here? Comes from the furthest steppe of India. But that forsooth about St. Amazon, your buskis mistress, your warrior love, to Theseus must be wed, and you must come to give their bed joy and prosperity.
How canst thou thus for shame, Titania? Glance at my credit with Hippolyta, knowing I know thy love to Theseus. Didst thou not lead him through the glimmering night from Perignia, whom he ravished, and make him with fair Aegeus break his faith with Ariadne and Antiopa?
These are the 4Gs of jealousy, and never since the middle summer spring met we on hale and dale, forest or mead, by pay, fountain, or rushy brook, or the birch merchant of the sea, to dance our ringlights in the whistling wind, for thou hast disturbed our sport. Therefore the wind, piping us in vain, as in revenge, has sucked up from the sea. Contagious fogs which is falling land have ever pelting river made so proud, and overborne their continents. The ox has stretched his yoke in mane. The proud man has lost his sweat. The greencorn has rotten his youth and attained a beard. The full stands empty in the drowned flood. The crows are fighting with the murn flock, and the 9-mess morris is filled up with mud in the quiet maze of the wanton green. For the lack of tread and undistinguishable, the human mortals want their winter here, no night of herm of carol west. Therefore the moon, the governess flood, pale in her anger and washes all the air. The remedy disease do abound, and through this distemper we see the season's altar of hoary head and forest. The fresh lip of Christmas rose, and on herm's thin and icy crown is an odorous caplet of sweet summer buds. Is a mockery set to the spring, the summer, the chill and autumn, angry winter want their winters here in livers. But this is increase, now knows not which is which. Is the same progress of evil that comes from our debate, from our dismiss. We are the parents and the original.
Do you amend it then? It lies in you. Why should Titania cross her Oberon? I do but beg a little changeling boy to be my henchman.
Set your heart at rest. The very land buys not a child of me. His mother was a fortress of my odor, and often has she gossiped by my side, and sat with me on Neptune's yellow sand, and embarks the treads of flood. And we laughed to see the sails conceived in the groping belly of the wanton wind, to which she, Simon, pretty with great, following her room rich with my young square, and amid the sails upon the land, to fetch me truffles and return again, as rich with merchandise. But she, being immortal, of the boy did die. And for her sake do I rear up her boy, and for her sake I will not part with him.
How long within this wood intend you stay?
Perchance to after feast this rainy day, and see the moonlight reveals. Go with us, if not, shun me. I will spare your haunts.
Give me the boy, and I will go with thee.
Not for thy fairy kingdom, fairies away. I should try downright if I longer stay.
Well, go thy way, now shut not from this grove till I torment thee for this injury. My gentle pup, come hither. Thou rememberest, since once I sat upon a promontory and heard a mermaid on a dolphin's back, uttering such dulcet and harmonious breath that the rude sea grew civil at her song, and certain stars shot madly from their spheres to hear the sea maid's music.
I remember.
That very time I saw, but thou could not, flying between the cold moon and the earth, Cupid all armed, a certain aim he took on a fair vessel throned by the west, and loosened his love shaft smartly from his bow, as it should pierce 100,000 hearts. But I might see young Cupid's fiery shaft, quenched in the chaste beams of the watery moon, and the imperial votress pass it on in maiden meditation, fancy-free. But marked I where the bolt of Cupid fell. It fell upon a little western flower, before milk white, now purple with love's wound, and maidens call it love in idleness. Fetch me that flower, the herb I showed thee once, the juice of it on sleeping eyelids laid, will make a man or woman madly dote upon the next live creature that it sees. Fetch me this herb, and be thou here again, ere the Leviathan meets him a league.
I'll put a girdle around the earth in 40 minutes.
Having once this juice, I'll watch Titania when she is asleep, and lay the liquor of it in her eyes. The next thing then she waking looks upon, be it on lion, bear, wolf, or bull, on meddling monkey or busy ape, she shall pursue it with the soul of love. And ere I take this charm from off her sight, as she can take it with another herb, I will make her render up her page to me. But who comes here? I am invisible. I will overhear their conference.
I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Where is Lysander, fair Hermia, the one I'll slay and the other slayeth me? Thou toldst me they were stolen within this wood, and here am I, enwold within this wood. For I cannot meet my Hermia. Hence get thee gone, and follow me no more.
You draw me, you hard-hearted adamant, but ye draw not iron, for my heart is as true as steel. Leave you your power to draw, and I shall have none to follow you.
Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather, do I not plainest truth? Tell you I do not, nor I cannot love you?
And even for that do I love you the more. Demetrius, I am your spaniel, and the more you beat me, I will fawn on you. Use me as your spaniel. Burn me, strike me, lose me, neglect me. Only give me leave unworthy as I am to follow you. What worser place can I beg in your love? And yet a place of high respect with me, than to be used as you use your dog.
Tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on thee.
I am sick when I look not on you.
You do impeach your modesty way too much. To leave the city and commit yourself into the hands of one that loves you not, to trust the opportunity of the night, of the ill counsel of a desert place, with the rich worth of your virginity?
Your virtue is my privilege, for it is not night when I do see your face. Nor doth this world lack worlds of company, for you and my respect are all the world. And how can it be said that I'm alone, when all the world is here to look on me?
I will run from thee and hide me in the brakes, and leave thee to the mercy of wild beasts.
The wildest hath not such a heart as you. Run as you will, the story shall be changed. Apollo flies and Daphne holds the chase, the dove pursues the griffin. The mild hind makes speed to pitch, the tiger bootless speed. When courage pursues and valor flies.
I will not stay thy questions. Let me go. Or if thou follow me, do not believe, but I shall do thee mischief in the wood.
I, in the temple, the town, the fields, you do me mischief. Fie, Demetrius, you do set a scandal upon my sex. We cannot fight for love as men may do. We are meant to be wooed and we're not meant to woo. I will follow thee and make a heaven of hell, to die upon the hand I love so well.
Fare thee well, nymph. Ere he do leave this grove, thou shalt fly him, and he shall seek thy love. Hast thou the flower there? Welcome, wanderer.
There it is.
I pray thee give it me. I know a bank where the wild thyme blows, where the ox slips and the nodding violet blows, quite over-canopied with luscious woodbine, with sweet musk roses and eglantine. There sleeps Titania sometime of the night, lulled in these flowers with dances and delight. And there the snake throws her enameled skin weed wide enough to wrap a fairy in. And with the juice of this I'll streak her eyes and make her full of hateful fantasies. Take thou some of it. Seek through this grove, for a sweet Athenian lady is in love with a disdainful youth. Anoint his eyes, but do it so the next thing he espies may be the lady. Thou shalt know the man by the Athenian garments he hath on. Affect it with some care, that he may prove more fond of her than she upon her love. And look thou meet me ere the first cock crow.
Fear not, my lord. Your servant shall do so.
Come now rounded in a fairy song, then for the third part minute of hence, some to kill kingers and musk-growth buds, some with rim mice of leather wings, to make my smells elves' coats, and keep back the glamorous owl that nightly hoots and wanders. And our quiet spirits sing me now asleep, and then to your office and let me rest.
You spotted snakes with double tongue. Thorny hedgehogs, be not seen. Newts and blind worms, do not wrong. Come not near our fairy queen.
Fill a mouth with melody, sing in our sweet lullaby. La 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 lullaby, la 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 lullaby. Never harm, nor spell, nor charm, come our lovely lady nigh. So good night with lullaby. Weaving spiders, come not here. Hence, you long-legged spinners, hence. Beetles black, approach not near. Worm nor snail, do no offense. Fill a mouth with melody, sing in our sweet lullaby. La 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 lullaby. La 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 lullaby. Never harm, nor spell, nor charm, come our lovely lady nigh. So good night with lullaby.
Heads away, now all is well. One aloof stands sentinel.
what thou seest when thou dost wake. Do it for thy true love take. Love and languish for his sake. Be it ounce or cat or bear, pard or boar with bristled hair. In thy eye that shall appear, when thou wakest, it is thy dear. Wake when some vile thing is near.
Fair love, who faint with wandering in the wood, and to speak truth, I have forgot our way. We'll rest us here, Hermia, and tarry for the comfort of the day.
Be it so, Lysander. Find you out of bed, for I upon this bank will rest my head.
One turf shall serve as pillow for us both. One heart, one bed, two bosoms, and one troth.
Nay, good Lysander, for my sake, my dear, lie further off yet. Do not lie so near.
Oh, take this sense, sweet of my innocence. Love takes to me in love conference. I mean that my heart unto yours is knit, so that but one heart we can make of it. Two bosoms interchanged with an oath, so then two bosoms in a single troth. Then by your side no bedroom me deny, for lying so, Hermia, I do not lie.
Lysander riddles very prettily. Now much for sure my manners and my pride if Hermia meant to say Lysander lied, but gentle friend, for love and courtesy, lie further off. In human modesty, such separation may as well be said, becomes a virtuous bachelor and a maid. So far be distant, and good night, sweet friend. Thy love never altered till thy sweet life end.
Amen, amen to that fair prayer say I. And then in life when I am loyalty. Here is my bed. Sleep give thee all his rest.
With half that wish, the wisher's eyes be pressed.
Through the forest have I gone, but Athenian found I none, on whose eyes I might have probed this flower's force in stirring love. Night and silence, who is here? Weeds of Athens he doth wear. This is he, my master said, despised of the Athenian maid. And here the maiden sleeping sound on this dank and dirty ground. Pretty soul, she does not lie near this lack love, this kill courtesy. Churl upon thine eyes I throw, all the power this charm doth owe. When thou wakest, let love forbid, sleep his seat on thy eyelid. So awake when I am gone, for I must now to Oberon. Stay, wilt thou kill me, sweet Demetrius?
I charge thee hence, do not haunt me thus.
Oh, will the darkling leave me? Do not so.
Stay on thy peril, I alone will go.
I am out of breath in this fond chase. The more my prayer, the lesser is my grace. Happy is Hermia whereso she lies, for she hath blessed and attractive eyes. How come her eyes so bright, not shone with salt tears? If so, mine are oftener washed than hers. No, no, I'm as ugly as a bear, for beasts that meet me often run away for fear. Therefore, no marvel, Demetrius, do, as a monster, fly my presence thus. What wicked and dissembling glass of mine made me compare with Hermia's fiery eye? But who is here? Lysander? On the ground? Dead or asleep, I see no blood, no wound. Lysander, if you live, good sir, awake.
And run to prayer, will, for thy sweet sake. Transparent Helena, nature shows art, that through thy bosom makes me see thy heart. Where is Demetrius? How fit a word is that vile name to perish on my sword.
Do not say so, Lysander. Say not so. What though you love your Hermia, Lord, what though? But Hermia still loves you. Then be content.
Content with Hermia? No, I do repent the tedious minutes I with her have spent. Not Hermia, the Helen I love. Who will not change a raven for a dove? The will of a man inspires the reason to aid. The reason says you are the worthier maid. Things growing are not ripe until their season. So I, being young till now, ripe not to reason. And touching now the point of human skill, reason becomes impartial to my will, and leads me to your eyes, where I look. Love stories written in love, the richest book.
Wherefore was I to this keen mockery born? When at your hands did I deserve such scorn? It's not enough. It's not enough, young man, that I know nor never can deserve a sweet look from Demetrius's eye, but you must flout my insufficiency? Good troth you do me wrong, good sooth you do, in such disdainful manner me to woo. But fare you well, perforce I must confess, I thought you lord of more true gentleness. That a lady of one man refused, should of another therefore be abused.
She sees now Hermia. Hermia, sleep thou there, and never mice come Lysander near. For as a surfeit of the sweetest things, the deepest loathing to the stomach brings. Whereas tie heresies that men do leave are hated most of those they did deceive. So thou, my surfer and my heresy, of all be hated but the most of me. And all my powers address your love and might to honor Helen and to be her knight.
Help me, Lysander, help me! Do thy best to pluck this crawling serpent from my breast. Ay me, for pity, what a dream was here. Lysander, look how I do quake with fear. Methought a serpent eat my heart away, and you sat smiling at his cruel prey. Lysander? What? Removed? Lysander? Lord, out of hearing? Gone? No sound, no word? Alas, speak, and if you hear, speak of all loves. I swoon almost with fear. No? Then I well perceive you are not nigh. Either death or you I'll find immediately.
Are we all met?
Pat, pat. Here's a marvelous convenient place for a rehearsal. This green plot shall be our stage. The hawthorn brake, our tiring house. We shall do it in action as we will do it before the Duke.
Peter Quinn,
What sayest thou, Bully Bottom?
there are things in this comedy of Pyramus and Thisbe that will never please. First, Pyramus must draw a sword to kill himself, which the ladies cannot abide. How answer you that?
I believe we must leave out the killing altogether when all is done.
Write me a prologue, and let the prologue seem to say that we will do no harm with our swords, and that Pyramus is not killed indeed. And for the better assurance, tell them that I, Pyramus, am not Pyramus, but Nick Bottom the Weaver. This will put them out of fear.
We will have such a prologue that shall be written in 8 and 6.
No, make it be written in 8 and 8.
What about the lion? Will not the ladies be in fear of it? Because I hear it. I promise you.
Masters, you ought to consider with yourselves to bring in, God shield us, a lion amongst ladies is a most dreadful thing, for there is not a more fearful wildfowl than your lion living, and we ought to look to it.
Well, then it shall be so. But there are 2 hard things, that is, to bring moonlight into the chamber, for, you know, Pyramus and Thisbe meets by moonlight.
Doth the moon shine the night we play our play?
A calendar, a calendar! Find, look in the almanac, find out moonshine, find out moonshine!
Yes, it doth shine that night.
Why, then we may leave the great chamber window of the casement where we play open, and the moon may shine in.
Aye, or else one must come in, the bush of thorns and a lanthorn, and say he comes to this figure, to presenteth the person of moonshine. Then there's another thing. We must bring a wall into the great chamber, for Pyramus and Thisbe says the story did talk through the chink of a wall.
You could never bring in a wall. What sayest thou, Bottom?
Some man or other must present wall, and let him have some loam or some plaster or some rough case about him to signify wall. And let him hold his fingers thus, and through that cranny shall Pyramus and Thisbe whisper.
If that may be, then all is well. Come, every mother's son, sit down, rehearse your parts. Pyramus, you begin. When you have spoken your speech, enter into that break, and so every man according to his cue.
What have been homespuns have been swaggering here? And so near to the cradle of the fairy queen?
What a play toward.
I'll be an auditor. An actor too, perhaps, if I see cause.
Pyramus, you begin. Thisbe, stand forth.
Thisbe, the flowers of odious savor sweet.
Odors, odors.
Odors, savor sweet. So hath thy breath, my Thisbe dear. But hark a voice, stay thou but here a while, and by I will to thee appear.
A stranger Pyramus than e'er played here.
Must I speak now?
Ay, Mary, must you? For you must understand he goes but to see noise he heard and is to come again.
Most radiant Pyramus, most lily-white of hue, of color like the red rose of Triumph and Briar, most frisky juvenile, auntie, most lovely Jew, as true the Western horse that yet would never tire. Oh, meet thee, Pyramus, and Ninny's too.
Ninnis too, man. Why, you must not speak that part yet. You speak all your parts at once, and cues all pyramids enter. Cues past, it is never tire.
Oh. As true as juiced horse that yet would never tire.
If I were fair Thisbe, I were only thine.
Oh, monstrous. Oh, strange. Pray, masters. Blind masters, help!
I'll follow you. I'll lead you bout around, through bog, through bush, through brake, through fire. Sometimes a horse I'll be, sometimes a hound, a hog, a headless bear of fire. And neigh and grunt and bark and roar and burn, like horse, hound, hog, bear, fire at every turn.
Why do they run away? This is a knavery of them, to make me afeard.
What do I see on thou bottom?
What do you see? You see an ass head of your own, do you?
Bless thee, bottom. Bless thee. Thou art translated.
I see their knavery. This is to make an ass of me, to frighten me if they could. But I will not stir from this place. Do what they can. I will walk up and down here, and I will sing, that they shall hear I am not afraid. The ousel cocks a black of hue with orange tawny bill, the throstle with his notes so true, the wren with little quill.
What angel wakes me from my flowery bed?
The finch, the sparrow, and the lark, the plain-sung cuckoo gray, whose note full many man doth mark, and dares not answer nay. For indeed, who would set his wit to so foolish a bird? Who would give a bird the lie, though he cry cuckoo never so?
I pray thee, gentle mortal, sing again, my ears, my ambered by thy note, so my eyes enthralled by thy shape, and thy fair virtuous force perforce doth move me. On the first view to say, I swear I love thee.
Methinks, mistress, you should have little reason for that. And yet, to say the truth, reason and love keep little company together nowadays. The more the pity that some honest neighbors will not make them friends. Nay, I can gleek upon occasion.
Thou art as wise as thou art as beautiful.
Not so, neither. But if I had wit enough to get out of this wood, I have enough to serve mine own turn.
Out of this wood did not desire to go. Thou shalt remain here, will the wilt or no. I'm a spirit of no common right. The summer still doth upon my state. I do love thee, therefore go with me. I give these fairies to attend on thee, and they shall fetch the jewels from the deep, and sing while thou on pressed flowers dost sleep. I will purge thy mortal grossness so. Thou shalt an airy spirit like go. Please blossom, cobweb, moth, and mustard seed.
Ready!
And I.
And I.
And I. Where shall we go?
Be kind and courteous to this gentleman. Hop in his walks, gamble in his eyes, feed him apricots and dewberries, with purple grapes, green figs, and millberries. The honey bags steal from the humble bees, and the night tapper crop their waxing thighs. Have my love bed arise, and pluck the wings from painted butterflies, to fan the moonbeams with his sleeping eyes. Nod to him else, and do him courtesy.
Hail, mortal! Hail!
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 I cry your worship's mercy heartily. I beseech your worship's name.
Cobweb!
I shall desire you of more acquaintance, good Master Cobweb. If I cut my finger, I shall make bold with you. Your name, honest gentleman.
Peace Blossom!
I pray you, commend me to Mistress Squash, your mother, and to Master Peace God, your father. Good Master Peace Blossom, I shall desire you of more acquaintance too. Your name I beseech you, sir.
Mustard seed.
Good Master Mustard Seed, I know your patience well. That same cowardly, giant-like ox beef hath devoured many a gentleman of your house. I promise you, your kindred had made my eyes water ere now. I desire you of more acquaintance, good Master Mustard Seed.
Come wait upon him, lead him to my bower. The moon methinks with a watery eye, and when she weeps, weeps every little flower, lamenting some enforced chastity. Tight my love's tongue, bring him silently.
I wonder if Titania be awakened, then what it was that next came in her eye which she must dote on in extremity. Here comes my messenger. How now, mad spirit? What night rule now about this haunted grove? My mistress with the monster is in love. Near to her close and consecrated bower, when she was in her dull and sleeping hour,
A crew of patches, rude mechanicals, who worked for bread upon Athenian stalls, were met together to rehearse a play, intended for great Theseus' nuptial day. The shallowest, thick skin of that barren sort who Pyramus presented in their sport, forsook his scene and entered in a break, when I did him a disadvantage take, an ass's no light fixed on his head, anon his disby must be answered. And forth my minute comes, when they him spy, as wild geese creeping the fowler eye, or russet-padded chalk, many in sort, rising in kind at the gun's report, sever themselves and madly sweep the sky, for at his sight away his fellows fly. And at our stamp, here o'er and o'er one falls, he murder cries and help from Athens calls. Their sense, thus weak, lost with their fears thus strong, made senseless things begin to do them wrong. For briars and swords at their apparel snatch, some sleeves, some hats, from yielders all things catch. I led them on this distracted fear, and left sweet Pyramus translated there, when in that moment so came to pass, Titania waked and straightway loved an ass. Oh, this falls out better than I could devise. But hast thou yet matched the Athenian's eyes with the love juice as I did bid thee do? I took him sleeping, that is finished too, and the Athenian woman by his side, the one he went, for she must be I.
Stand aside, this is the same Athenian.
This be the woman, but this not the man.
Oh, I rebuke you, him that loves you so. Lay breath so bitter on your bitter foe.
Now I but chide, but I should use thee worse, for thou, I fear, hast given me cause to curse. If thou hast slain Lysander in his sleep, being o'er shoes in blood, plunge in the deep and kill me too. The sun was not so true unto the day as he to me. Would he have stolen away from sleeping Hermia? I'll believe as soon as this whole earth may be bored, and that the moon make her descend or creep, and so displease her brother's noontide of antipodes. It cannot be that thou hast murdered him. So should your murderer look, so dead, so grim.
So should the murdered look, and so should I. Pierced to the heart with your stern cruelty, yet you, the murderer, look as bright as clear as yonder Venus in her glimmering sphere.
What's this to my Lysander? Where is he? Ah, good Demetrius, wilt thou give him me?
I'd rather give his carcass to my hounds.
Out, dog! Out, cur! Thou drivest me past the bounds of maiden's patience. Hast thou slain him, then? Henceforth be never numbered among men. Oh, once tell true even for my sake. Durst thou have looked upon him being awake, and hast thou killed him sleeping? Oh, brave touch, could not a worm, an adder, do so much? An adder did it, for with doubler tongue than thine, thou serpent never adder stung.
You spend your passion on a misprized mood. I am not guilty of Lysander's blood, nor is he dead, for aught that I can tell.
I pray thee then, tell me he is well.
And if I could, what shall I get there for?
A privilege. Never to see me more. And from thy hated presence part I so. See me no more, whether he be dead or no.
There is no falling her in this fierce vein. Here therefore a while I will remain. So sorrow's heaviness doth heavier grow, for debt that bankrupt sleep doth sorrow owe, which now in some slight measure it will pay. For his tender here I make some stay.
What hast thou done? Thou hast mistaken quite, and laid the love juice on some true love sight of thy misprision must perforce into some true love turned, not a false turn true. King of shadows, I mistook, but did you not tell me that I should know the man by the Athenian garments he hath on? And so far blameless proves my enterprise that I have anointed in Athenian's eyes. About the wood go swifter than the wind. And Helena of Athens, look thou find, though fancy sick she is, and pale of cheer, with sighs of blood that draws the fresh love dear. By some illusion see thou bring her here, I'll charm his eyes against she do appear. I go, look how I go, swifter than arrow from Tartar's bow. Flower of this purple dye, hit with Cupid's archer eye, sink an apple up his eye, when his love he doth espy, let her shine a glorious lie as the Venus of the sky. When thou wakest, if she be by, beg of her her remedy. Captain of our fairy band, Helena is here at hand, and the youth mistook by me, pleading for a lover's fee. Shall we their fond pattern see? Lord, what fools these mortals be! Stand aside, the noise they make will cause Demetrius to wake. Then we'll two at once we one, at whose needs best be scored alone, and those things do best please me that befall preposterously.
Why should you think I should woo and scorn? Scorn and derision never come in tears. Look, when I vow I weep, and vow stillborn, in their nativity all truth appears. How can these things seem scorn to you? Bearing the badge of faith for truth and true.
You do advance your cunning more and more. When truth kills truth of devilish holy fray, these vows are Hermia's. Will you give her o'er? Weigh oath with oath and he will nothing weigh. These vows to her and me put on two scales will even weigh both as light as tails.
I had no judgment with her, I swore.
Nor none in my mind, now you give her o'er.
Demetrius loves her and he loves not you.
Oh, Helena, goddess, nymph, perfect divine, to what my love shall I compare thine eye? Crystals muddy, a whole ripened show, thy lips those kissing cherries tempting grow. That pure congealed, white-eyed tore snow, fanned with the easter wind turns to a crow. While thou holdst up thy hands, oh let me kiss this princess of pure white, this seal of bliss.
Oh spite, oh hell, I see you're all bent, set against me for your merriment. If you were civil and knew courtesy, you would not do me thus much injury. If you were men as men you are in show, you would not treat a gentle lady so. To vow, if swear, and super praise my parts, when I know you both hate me with your hearts. You both are rivals, and love Hermia, now both rivals to mock Helena? A trim exploit, a manly enterprise, to conjure tears in a poor maid's eyes, with your derision, not of noble sort, would so offend a virgin and extort a poor soul's patience, all to make you sport.
You are unkind, Demetrius. Be not so. For you love Hermia, this you know I know. And here, with all goodwill, with all my heart, in Hermia's love I yield you up my part. And yours of Helena, to me bequeath, whom I do love, and will do till my death.
Never did mockery waste more idle breath.
Lysander, keep thy Hermia. I will none. If e'er I loved her, all that love is gone. My heart to her, but as guest why sojourn, is not to Helena, home returned, there to remain.
Helen, it is not so.
Despair is not the fate thou dost not know, lest on thy peril thy abideth dear. But look, where thy love comes, yonder is thy dear.
Dark night that from the eye his function takes, the ear more quick of apprehension makes. Wherein it doth impair the seeing sense, it pays the hearing double recompense. Thou art not by mine eye, Lysander, found. My ear, I thank it, brought me to thy sound. Why unkindly didst thou leave me so?
Why should he stay, whom love doth press to go?
What love could press Lysander from my side?
Lysander's love that would not let him bide. Fair Helena, who more gilds the night than all young free oes in eyes of light. Why seekest thou me? Could not this make thee know? The hate I bear made me leave thee so.
You speak not as you think. It cannot be.
Lo, she's one of the confederacy. Now I perceive they have conjoined all three to fashion this false sport in spite of me. Injuries from your most ungrateful maid? Have you conspired? Have you these contrived to bait me with this foul derision? Is all the counsel that we two have shared, the sisters' vows, the hours that we two have spent when we chid the hasty foot time for parting us? Oh, is it all forgot? School days friendship, childhood innocence. We, Hermia, like two artificial gods with our needles, create both one flower, both on one sampler, sitting on one cushion, both warbling of one song, both in one key, as if our hands, voices, sides, and minds were incorporate. So we grow together, like two double cherries seeming parted, but yet a union in partition. Two lovely berries molded on one stem, with two seeming bodies but one heart. Two of the first, like coats in heraldry, due but to one and crowned with one crest. And will you rent our ancient love asunder? To join with men in scorning your poor friend. 'Tis not friendly and 'tis not maidenly, our sex as well as I may chide you for it, but I alone do feel the injury.
I am amazed at your passionate words. I scorn you not. It seems that you scorn me.
Have you not set Lysander, as in scorn, to follow me and praise my eyes and face? And your other love, Demetrius, who but now does spurn me with his foot. Call me goddess, nymph, divine and rare, precious, celestial. Who says this to her he hates? And wherefore doth Lysander deny your love, so rich within his soul, to tender me forsooth affection, but by your setting on, by your consent? oh, thought I be not so embraced as you, so hung upon with love, so fortunate. But miserable most who love unloved. This you should pity rather than despise.
I understand not what you mean by this.
I do persevere, counterfeit sad looks, make mouse upon me when I turn my back. Hold the sweet jest up. This sport well carried out shall be chronicled. If you had any pity, grace, or manners, you would not make me such an argument. But fare you well. This is partly mine own fault, which death or absence soon shall remedy.
Certain Helena, hear my excuse. My love, my life has soul fair Helena.
Oh, excellent.
Speak, do not scorn her so.
If she cannot entreat, I can compel.
Thou canst compel no more than she entreat. Thy threats have no more strength than her weak prayers. Helen, I love thee, and my life I do. I swear by that which I will lose for thee, to prove him false that says I love thee not.
I say I love thee more than he can do.
If thou says so, withdraw. Prove it too.
Quick, come.
Lysander, where to tends all this?
Away, you little shrew.
No, no, sir. He'll seem to take not as you would follow. But yet come not, you are a tame man, go.
Hang out, thou cat, thou bird, vile thing let loose, or I'll shake thee from me like a serpent.
Why are you grown so rude? What change is this, sweet love?
Thy love? Out, tawny tartar, out! Out with medicine! Oh, hated potion, hence!
Do you not jest?
Yes, Susan, so do you.
Demetrius, I will keep my word with thee.
I would I had your bond, for I perceive. A weak bond holds you. I'll not trust your word.
What? Should I hurt her? Strike her? Kill her dead? Although I hate her, I'll not harm her so.
What can you do me greater harm than hate? Hate me wherefore, oh what news, my love? Am I not Hermia? Are you not Lysander? I am as fair now as I was erewhile. Since night you loved me, yet since night you left me. Oh, the gods forbid. In earnest, shall I say?
I, by my life, and never did desire to see thee more. Therefore, be all of hope, of question, of doubt. Be certain, nothing truer, 'tis no jest, that I do hate thee and love Helena.
Oh me, you juggler, you canker blossom, you thief of love. What if you come by night and stolen my love's heart from him?
By night faith, have you no modesty, no maiden shame, no touch of bashfulness? What? Will you tear impatient answers from my gentle tongue? Fie, you counterfeit, you puppet. You.
Puppet? Why so? That way goes the game. Now I perceive she hath made compare between our statures. She hath urged her height, and with her personage, her tall personage, forsooth, she hath prevailed with him. And are you grown so high in his esteem because I am so dwarfish and so low? Speak, thou painted maypole, how low am I? Am I not yet so low, but that my nails can reach into thine eyes?
I pray you, though you mock me, gentlemen, let her not hurt me. I'm not cursed, I have no gift at all in shrewdness. I'm a right hand made for my cowardice. You perhaps may think because she's something lower than myself that I can match her.
Lower! Hark again!
Good Hermia, I evermore did love you, ever did keep your counsels, never wronged you, save that love unto Demetrius. I told him of yourself unto this wood, he followed you for love, I followed him. He hath chid me hence and threatened me, to spurn me, strike me, nay, to kill me too. And now you will let me go back to Athens while I bear my folly back. And follow you no further, let me go, you see how simple and how fond I am.
Why get you gone? Who is that hinders you?
A foolish heart that I leave here behind.
What, with Lysander?
With Demetrius.
Be not afraid, she shall not harm thee, Helena.
No, sir, she shall not, though you take her part.
Oh, and she is mean, she is keen and shrewd. She was a vixen when she went to school, and though she be but little, she is fierce.
Little again! Nothing but low and little! Why will you suffer her to plot me thus? Let me come to her!
Get you gone, you dwarf! You minimus of hindering not grass made! You bead! You acorn!
You are too officious. In her behalf that scorned your services. Let her alone, speak not of Helena. Take not her part, for if thou dost intend, never so little show love to her, thou shalt abide it.
Now she holds me not. Now follow if thou darest, to try who's right, of thine or mine, most is Helena.
Follow? Nay. I'll go with thee, cheek by jowl.
You, mistress, all this coil is long of you. Nay, go not back.
I will no longer listen to you. I no longer stay in your cursed company. Your hands and mine are quicker for a fray. My legs are longer, though. to run away.
I'm amazed. I know not what to say. This is thy negligence. Still thou mistakest, or else committest thy knaveries willfully.
My king of shadows I mistook, but did you not tell me that I should know the man by the Athenian garments he hath on? And so far blameless proves my enterprise that I have anointed in Athenians' eyes.
Thou seest these lovers seek a place to fight. I therefore, Robin, overcast the night. The starry welkin cover thou anon with drooping fog as black as Acheron, and lead these testy rivals so astray as one come not within another's way. Like to Lysander, sometime frame thy tongue, then stir Demetrius up with bitter wrong. Then sometime rail thou like Demetrius, and from each other look thou lead them thus. Till o'er their brows doth counterfeiting sleep with leaden legs and batty wings doth creep. Then crush this herb into Lysander's eye, whose liquor hath this virtuous property, to take from fensel air with his might, and make his eyeballs roll with wanted sight. When they next wake, all this derision shall seem a dream and fruitless vision. What eyes in this affair do we employ? I'll to my queen and beg her Indian boy. And then I will her charmed eye release from monsters' view, and all things shall be peace.
My fairy lord, this must be done with haste, for night's swift dragons cut the clouds full fast. And yonder shines Aura's harbinger, at whose approach goes wandering here and there, troop home to churchyards, damned spirits all, that in crossways and floods have burial, already to their wormy beds are gone.
But we are spirits of another sort. I with the morning's love have oft made sport, and like a forester the groves may tread, even till the eastern gate all fiery red, opening on fair Neptune with blessed beams, turns into yellow gold his salt green streams. But notwithstanding haste, make no delay, we must effect this business yet ere day.
Up and down, I will lead them up and down. I am feared in field and town. Goblin, lead them up and down. Here comes one.
Where art thou, proud Demetrius? Speak thou now.
Here, villain, drawn and ready.
I'll be with thee straight.
Follow me then to plainer ground.
Lysander, speak again. Thou run away, thou coward. Art thou fled? Speak, in some bush? Where dost thou hide thy head?
Thou coward, thou art bragging to the stars, telling the bushes that thou lookst for wars and wilt not come. Come, recreant, come thou child. I'll whip thee with rod he is defiled that draws a sword on thee.
Yeah, art thou there?
Follow my voice, we'll try no manhood here.
He goes before me and still dares beyond. When I come where he calls, then he is gone. The villain is much later healed than I followed fast, but faster he did fly. That fallen in my dark uneven way. Come thou gentle day, for if but once show me thy grey light, I'll find Demetrius to revenge his spite.
Ho, 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 coward, why comest thou not?
Abide me if thou darest while I walk. Thou runnest before me, shifting every place, but darest not stand or look me in the face. Where art thou now?
Come hither, I am here.
Nay, then thou mocks me. That's what's by the steer. If ever thy face by daylight see, now go thy way. Faintness constraineth me to measure my length on this cold bed. By day's approach, look to be visited.
O weary night, O long and tedious night, abate thy hour. Shine comforts from the east that I may make it back to Athens by daylight, and from these that my poor company detest. And sleep, that sometimes shuts up sorrow's eye, steal me a while from mine own company.
Yet but three, come one more. Two of both kinds makes up four. Here she comes, cursed and sad. Cupid is a knavish lad, thus to make poor females mad.
Never so weary, never so in woe, bedabbled with the dew and torn with briars. I can no further crawl, no further go. My legs can keep no pace with my desires. Here will I rest me till the break of day. Heaven shield Lysander if they mean a fray.
Churl upon thine eyes I throw all the power this charm doth owe. When thou wakest, thou takest true delight in the sight of thy former lady's eye. and the country proverb known, that every man shall have his own. Jack shall have Jill, naught shall go ill. The man shall have his mare again, and all shall be well.
Come sit thou down on the flowery bed, while thy amiable cheeks do coy, and stick musk rose in thy sleek smooth head, and I kiss thy fair large ears, my gentle joy.
Where's Peas Blossom?
Ready!
Scratch my head, Peas Blossom. Where's Monsieur Cobweb?
Ready!
Monsieur Cobweb, good Monsieur, get you your weapons in your hand, and kill me a red-hipped humblebee on the top of a thistle. And, good Monsieur, bring me the honey bag. Do not fret yourself too much in the action, Monsieur. And, good Monsieur, have a care the honey bag break not. I would be loath to have you overflown with the honey bag, Signor. Where's Monsieur Mustard Seed?
Ready!
Give me your niece, Monsieur Mustard Seed. Pray you, leave your courtesy, good Monsieur.
What's your will?
Nothing, good Monsieur, but to help Cavalry Peas Blossom to scratch. I must to the barber's, Monsieur, for methinks I am marvelous hairy about the face, and I am such a tender ass, if my hair do but tickle me, I must scratch.
Well, here's some music, my sweet love.
I have a reasonable good ear in music. Let's have the tongs and the bones.
Or say, sweet love, what thou desire to eat.
Truly, a peck of provender. I could munch your good dry oats. Methinks I have a great desire to a bottle of hay. Good hay, sweet hay, half no fellow.
Out of vetchous berry thou shalt seek the squirrel's hoard, and fetch thy new nuts.
I had rather have a handful or two of dried peas, but I pray you, let none of your people stir me. I have an exposition of sleep come upon me.
Sleep thou, I will win me in my arms. Berries be gone, and be all aways. So doth the wind bind in the sweet honeysuckle, gentle in twist of the female ivory so, and rings the barking fingers of the elm. Oh, how I love thee, how I dote on thee.
Welcome, good Robin. Thou seest this sweet sight? Her dotage now I do begin to pity. For meeting her of late behind the wood, I did abraid her and fall out with her. For she his hairy temples then had rounded with a coronet of fresh and fragrant flowers. And that same dew which sometime on the buds was wont to swell like round and orient pearls, stood now within the pretty floweret's eyes, like tears that did their own disgrace bewail. I then at my pleasure taunted her, and she in mild terms begged my patience. I then did ask her of her changeling child, which straight she gave to me in fairy scent, to bear him in my bower in fairy land. And now I have the boy, I will undo this hateful imperfection of her eyes. And gentlepup, take the transformed scalp from off the head of this Athenian swine, that he awaking when the other do may all to Athens back again repair, and think no more of this night's accidents, but as the fierce vexation of a dream. But first I will release the fairy queen. Be as thou wast wont to be, see as thou wast wont to see. Dian's bud or Cupid's flower hath such force and blessed power. Now my Titania, wake ye, my sweet queen.
My Oberon, what visions have I seen? Methought of an amord of an ass.
There lies your love.
How come these things pass? Oh, my eyes do loathe his vision now.
Silence a while. Robin, take off his head. Titania, music call and strike more dead than all the common sleep of 5%.
Music ho, music such a charmed sleep.
Now when thou wakest with thine own fool's eyes peep, sound to music, come, my queen, take hands with me, and rock the ground whereon these sleepers be. Now thou and I are new in amity, and will tomorrow midnight solemnly dance into Theseus' house triumphantly, and bless it all to fair prosperity. So shall all the pairs of lovers be, wedded with Theseus, all in jollity. Fairy king, attended mark, I do hear the morning lark. Then my queen, in silence sad, triply after the night shade, we can globe the compass soon, swifter than the wandering moon.
Come, my lord, and in this flight, tell me how it came this night. Then I sleep here found with these mortals on the ground.
Go, one of you. Find out the forester. For now, our observation is performed. And since we have the ballad of the day, my love shall hear the music of my hounds. And couple in the western valley, let them go. Dispatch, I say, and find the forester. We will, fair queen, up to the mountain's top, and mark a musical confusion of hounds and echoes in conjunction.
I was with Hercules and Cadmus once, when in a wood of Crete they bayed the bear with hounds of Sparta. Never did I hear such valiant chiding, for besides the groves, the skies, the fountains, every region near seemed a one mutual cry. I never heard so musical a discord, such sweet thunder.
My hounds are bred under the Spartan kind, so flued, so sanded, and their heads are hung with ears that sweep away the morning dew. Crook-kneed and dew-lapped like the Sicilian bulls, slow in pursuit but matched in mouth like bells each under each. A cry more tunable was never hollow to, nor cheered in horn, in Crete, in Sparta, nor in Thessaly. Judge when you hear. But soft, what nymphs are these?
My lord, this is my daughter sleeping here. And this Lysander. This Demetrius is. This Helena. Old Nadar's Helena. I wonder of their being here together.
No doubt they rose up early to observe the rite of May, and in hearing our intent came here and grace our solemnity. But speak, Aegeus, is not this the day that Hermia should give answer of her choice?
It is, my lord.
Go, bid the huntsmen wake them with their horns. Good morrow, friends. St. Valentine is past. Begin these woodbirds but to couple now.
Pardon, my lord.
I pray you all, stand up. I know you two are rival enemies. How comes this gentle conquer in the world, that hatred is so far from jealousy, to sleep by hate and fear no enmity?
My lord, I shall reply amazingly. Half asleep, half waking. But as yet, I swear, I cannot truly say how I came here. But as I think, so it is. I came with Hermia hither. Our intent was to be gone from Athens, where we might without the peril of the Athenian law.
Enough! Enough, my lord! You've heard enough! I beg the law upon his head! They would have stolen away. They would, Demetrius, thereby have taken what is ours. Your wife and my consent. Well, my consent that she be your wife.
My lord, fair Helen told me of their stealth, of this their purpose hither to this wood. I in fancy fury following them, fair Helen on fancy following me. But, my good lord, I wot not by what power, but by some power it is, my love to Hermia, melted as the snow seems to me now, as the remembrance of an idle god, which in my childhood I did dote upon. With all the faith, the virtue of my heart, and the object and pleasure of mine eye, is owing to Helena, my lord. Was I betrothed there, I saw Hermia, but as in sickness I did loathe this food, but as in health come my natural taste. Now I do wish it, love it, long for it, and will forevermore be true to it.
Fair lovers, you are fortunately met. Of this discourse we will hear more anon. Aegeus, I will overburn your will, for in the temple by and by these couples shall eternally be knit. And for the morning now, as something worn, our purposed hunting shall be set aside. Away with us to Athens, 3 and 3, we'll hold a feast in great solemnity. Come, Hippolyta.
These things seem small and undistinguishable, like far-off mountains turned into clouds.
Methinks I see things with parted eye, when everything seems double.
And so methinks, and I have found Demetrius like a dream, mine own and not mine own.
Are you sure that we are awake? It seems that yet we sleep we dream. Do not you think the Duke was here and bid us follow him?
Yeah, and my father.
And Hippolyta.
And he did bid us follow to the temple.
Why, then we are awake. Let us follow them, and by the way, let us recount our dreams.
When my cue comes, call me and I will answer. My next is most radiant Pyramus. Hi-ho, Peter Quince!
flute the bellows mender? Starveling? God's my life stolen hence and left me asleep. I have had a most rare vision. I have had a dream. Past the wit of man to say what that dream was. Man is but an ass if he go about to expound this dream. Methought I was. There is no man can say what methought I was. Methought I had, but man is but a patched fool if he go on to explain what methought I had. The eye of man hath not heard, his ear hath not seen, his hand hath not tasted, tongue to conceive, nor his heart to report what my dream was. I will get Peter Quince to write a ballad of this dream. It shall be called Bottom's Dream, because it hath no bottom. And I will perform it at the latter end of the play in front of the Duke. Peradventure, to make it more gracious, I will sing it at her death.
Have you sent to Bottom's house? Is he come home yet?
He cannot be heard of. I'll doubt he's been transported.
If he come not, then the play is marred. It goes not forward, doth it?
It is not possible, for you have not a man in all Athens able to discharge Pyramus but he.
No, he simply hath the greatest wit of any handicraft man in Athens.
Yeah, and he's a very paramour for a sweet voice.
No, you must say paragon. A paramour is, God bless us, a thing of naught.
Masters, the Duke is coming from the temple, and there's 2 or 3 more lords and ladies more merry. If our sport had gone forward, we had all been made men.
Oh, sweet bully Bottom. Thus hath he lost 6 pence a day during his life. He could not have escaped 6 pence a day, and the Duke had not given him 6 pence a day for playing Pyramus. Oh, be hanged. He would have deserved it. 6 pence a day in Pyramus or nothing.
Where are these lads? Where are their hearts?
Oh, Bottom, O most courageous day, O most happy hour.
Masters, I am to discourse wonders, but if I tell you, I am no true Athenian. I will tell you, right as it fell out.
Let us hear, sweet Bottom.
Not a word of me. All that I will tell you is that the Duke hath dined. Get your apparel together, new ribbons for your pumps, strings for your beards. Every man look o'er his part, for the short and long is, our play is preferred. In any case, let Thisbe have clean linen, and let he who play the lion not pare his nails, for they are to show out of the costume like claws. And me most dear actors, eat no onions nor garlic, for we are to utter sweet breath, and I do not doubt but to hear them say, it is a sweet comedy. No more words. Away! Go away!
"'Tis strange, my Theseus, that these lovers speak of.
More strange than true. I never may believe these antique fables, nor these fairy toys. Lovers and madmen have such seething brains, such shaping fantasies that apprehend more than cool reason ever comprehends. The lunatic, the lover, and the poet are of imagination all compact. One sees more devils than vast hell can hold, that is, the madman. The lover, all is frantic, sees Helen's beauty in a brow of Egypt. The poet's eye, in fine frenzy rolling, doth glance from heaven to earth, from earth to heaven. And as imagination bodies forth the forms of things unknown, the poet's pen turns them to shapes and gives to airy nothing a local habitation and a name. Such tricks with strong imagination, that if it would but apprehend some joy, it comprehends some bringer of the joy. Or in the night imagining some fear, how easy is a bush supposed to bear.
But all the stories of the knights told over, all their minds transfigured so together, more witnesseth than fancy's images and grows to something of great constancy. But howsoever, strange and admirable.
Here come the lovers, full of joy and mirth. Joy, gentle friends, joy, and fresh days of love accompany your hearts.
More than to us, wait in your royal rocks, your board, your bed.
Come now, what masks, what dances shall we have to wear away this long age of 3 hours between our after supper and bedtime? Where is our usual manager of mirth? What revels are in hand?
Is there no play to ease the anguish of a torturing hour? Call Philostrate.
Here, mighty Theseus.
Say, what abridgment have you for this evening? What masks? What music? How shall we beguile this lazy time, if not with some delight?
There's a brief, how many sports are ripe? Make choice of which play you shall see first.
The battle with the centaurs, to be sung by an Athenian eunuch to the harp. Well, none of that, but I have told my love and glory of the kinsman Hercules. The riot of the tipsy bacchanals, tearing the Thracian singer in their rage. That is an old device, and it was I from Thebes last came a conqueror. The thrice three muses, mourning for the death of learning, late deceased in beggary. That is some satire, keen and critical, not sorting with a nuptial ceremony. A tedious brief scene of young Pyramus and his love Thisbe. Very tragical mirth.
Merry and tragical.
Tedious and brief, that is hot ice.
And wondrous strange snow.
How shall we find the concord of this discord?
A play there is, my lord, some 10 words long, which is as brief as I have known a play, but by 10 words, my lord, it is too long, which makes it tedious. For in all the play there is not one word apt, one player fitted. And tragical, my noble lord, it is. For Pyramus therein doth kill himself, which when I saw rehearsed, I must confess, made mine eyes water. But more merry tears, the passion of a lad laughter never shed.
What are they that do play it?
Hard-handed men that work in Athens here, which never labored in their minds till now, and now have toiled their unbreathed memories with the same play against your nuptial.
And we will hear it.
No, my noble lord, it is not for you, for I have heard it over and is nothing, nothing in the world, unless you find sport in your intents, extremely stretched and conned with cruel pain to do you service.
I will hear that play, for never anything can be amiss when simpleness and duty tender it. Go, bring them in, and take your places, ladies.
I love not to see wretchedness or charge in duty in his service perishing.
Why, gentle sweet, you shall see no such thing.
He says they can do nothing in this kind.
The kind are we, to give them thanks for nothing. Our sport should be to take with a mistake, and what poor duty cannot do, noble respect takes it in might, not merit. Where I have come, great clerks of purpose to greet me with premeditated welcomes. Where I have seen their shiver and their pale, make furious in the midst of their sentences, thought of their practiced accent in their fears, and in conclusion dumbly have broke off, not paying me a welcome. Trust me, sweet, out of this silence yet I picked to welcome, and in the modesty of fearful duty I read as much as from the rattling tongue of saucy and audacious eloquence. Love, therefore, in tongue-tied simplicity, and least speak most to my capacity.
And the prologue is addressed.
Let him approach.
If we offend, it is with our goodwill that you should think we come not to offend, but with goodwill to show our simple skill that is the true beginning of our end. Consider then we come but in despite, we do not come as minding to content you. Our true intent is all for your delight. We are not here, that you should here repent you. The actors are at hand, and by their show you shall know all that you are like to know.
This fellow doth not stand upon points.
He hath rid his prologue like a rough colt. He knows not to stop. A good moral, my lord. It is not enough to speak, but to speak true.
Indeed, he hath read his prologue like a child on a recorder, a sound but not in government.
His speech was like a tangled chain, nothing impaired, but all disordered. Who is next?
Gentles, perchance you wonder at this show, but wonder on till truth make all things plain. This man is Pyramus, if you would know. This beauteous lady Thisbe is certain. Myself with lime and rough cast doth present wall, the vile wall, which did these lovers sunder. And through wall's chink poor souls they are content to whisper, at the which let no man wonder. This man with lanthorn walks with bush of thorn, presenteth moonshine, for if you will know, by moonshine did these lovers think no scorn to meet at Ninnis' tomb, there to woo. This grisly beast with lion, I by name, did scare away, or rather did affright. And as she fled, her mantle did she fall, which lying vile with bloody mouth did stain. Anon comes Pyramus, sweet youth and tall, and finds his trusty Thisbe's mantle slain, whereat with blade and bloody blameful blade he bravely broached his boiling bloody breast, and Thisbe tarrying in mulberry shade, he his dagger drew and died. For all the rest, let lion, moonshine, wall, and lovers twain at large discourse, while here they do remain.
I wonder if the lion be to speak.
No wonder, my lord. One lion may when many asses do.
In this same interlude it doth befall that I, one Quince by name, present a wall. And such a wall as I would have you think that had in it a crannied hole or a chink, through which the lovers Pyramus and Thisbe did whisper often very secretly. This loam, this rough cast, this stone it doth show that I am that same wall, the truth is so. And this the cranny is, right and sinister, through which the fearful lovers are to whisper.
Would you desire Lime and Hair to speak better?
It is the wittiest partition I ever heard discourse, my lord.
Pyramus draws near the wall. Silence!
Oh, grim look tonight. Oh, night with you so black. Oh, night whichever art when day is not. Oh, night, alack, alack, alack. I fear my Thisbe's promises forgot. And thou, O wall, O sweet, O lovely wall, that standest between her father's ground and mine, thou wall, O sweet, O lovely wall, show me thy chink to blink through with mine eye. Thanks, courteous wall, Jove shield thee well for this. But what see I? No Thisbe do I see. Oh, cursed you wicked stones, for whom I see no bliss. Cursed be thy stones for thus deceiving me.
The wall, methinks, being sensible, should curse again.
No, in truth, sir, he should not. Deceiving me is Thisbe's cue. She is to enter now, and I am to spy her through the wall. It will fall pat as I told you. Yonder she comes.
O wall, full often hast thou heard my moans, for parting my fair Pyramus and me. My cherry lips have often kissed thy stones with lime and hair knit up in thee.
I see a voice. Now will I to the chink to spy, and I can see my Thisbe's face. Thisbe!
My love thou art, my love, I think.
Think what thou wilt. I am thy lover's grace, and like Leander am I trusty still.
In time, like Helen, to the fates be killed.
Not Shuffleus to Procris was so true.
Shuffleus to Procris, I to you.
Oh, kiss me through the hole of this vile wall.
I kiss the wall's hole, not your lips at all.
Wilt thou meet at Ninny's tomb straightway?
Time life, time death, I come without delay.
Thus have I wall my part discharged so, and being done, thus wall away doth go.
Now is the mural down between the two neighbors.
No remedy, my lord, when walls so witful to hear without warning.
This is the silliest stuff that ever I heard.
The best in this kind are but shadows, and the worst are no worse if imagination to mend them.
It must be your imagination then, and not theirs.
If we imagine no worse of them than they of themselves, they may pass for excellent men. Here they come, two noble beasts, a man and a lion.
You ladies, you whose gentle hearts do fear the smallest monstrous mouse that creeps on the floor, may now perchance both quake and tremble here, when lion rough and wild the storage doth roar. Then know that I, one snug the joiner, am a lion fell. No else no lion's dam, for if I should, as lion come in strife, into this place, twere pity on my life.
A very gentle beast of a good conscience.
The very best of the beast that e'er I saw.
This lion is very fox for his valor.
True, and a goose for his discretion.
Not so, my lord, for his valor cannot carry his discretion, and the fox carries the goose.
His discretion, I am sure, cannot carry for his valor, for the goose carries not the fox. It is well. Leave it to his discretion, and let us listen to the moon.
This lantern doth the horn moon presents.
He should have worn the horns on his head.
He is no crescent, and his horns are invisible within their circumference.
This lantern doth the horn moon presents. I, the man in the moon, do seem to be.
This is the greatest error of all the rest. The man should be put into the lantern. How is it else the man in the moon?
He dares not come for the candle, for you see it is already in snuff.
I am aweary of this moon. Would he would change.
It appears by his small light of discretion that he is in the wane. But yet in courtesy and all reason, we must stay the time.
Proceed, Moon.
All I have to say is to tell you that this lantern is the moon, I, the man in the moon, this thorn bush, my thorn bush, and this part, my part.
Well, all these should be in the lantern, for all these in the moon. But silence, here comes Thisbe.
This is old Minnie's tomb. Where's my love?
Oh!
Well roared, lion.
Well run, Thisbe.
Well shown, moon. Truly, the moon shines with a good grace.
Well moused, lion.
And so the lion vanished.
And then came Pyramus.
Sweet moon, I thank thee for thy sunny beams. I thank thee, moon, for shining so bright. For by thy gracious golden glittering gleams, to take of truest Thisbe sight. But stay, O spite, but mark, poor knight, what dreadful dole is here? Eyes, do you see? How could it be? O dainty duck, oh dear, thy mantle good? What stained with blood? Approach, ye furies fell. Fates come, cut thread and thrum, to quail, crush, conclude, and quell.
This passion and the death of a dear friend would go near to make a man look sad.
Beshrew my heart, but I pity the man.
Oh, wherefore, nature, didst thou lions frame? That lion vile hath here deflowered my dear, which is, which was the truest dame, that lived, that loved, that liked, that look with cheer. Come tears, confound, out sword and wound, the pap of Pyramus, I, that left pap, where hurt doth hop. Thus die I, thus. Now am I dead, now am I fled, my soul is in the sky. Tongue, lose thy light, moon, take thy flight. Now die, 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 die.
No die but an ace for him, for he is but one.
Less than an ace, man, for he is dead. He is nothing.
With the help of a surgeon, he might yet recover and prove an ass.
What chance moonshine is gone before Thisbe comes back to find her lover?
She will find him by starlight. Here she comes, and her passion ends the play.
Methinks she should not use such a long one for a Pyramus. I hope she'll be brief.
A mote will turn the balance, which Pyramus, which Thisbe is for the better. He for a man, God warrant us. She for a woman, God bless us.
She hath spied him already with those sweet eyes.
And thus she means vitalescent.
Asleep, my love? What dead, my tongue? Arise, Pyramus. Speak. Quite dumb. Dead? A tomb? Must cover thy sweet eyes, these lily lips, this cherry nose, these yellow cowslip cheeks. Poor God. Lovers make moan, his eyes were green as leeks. Sisters three, come to me, with hands as pale as milk. Lie them in gore, since you have sure, with shears his thread of silk. Tongue not a word, come trusty sword, come blade my breast in brew. Farewell, friends, thus this be it. Adieu.
Moon
Moonshine and Lion are left to bury the dead.
Aye, and the wall too.
No, I assure you, the wall is down that part of their fathers. Will it please you to see a Bergamask dance between two of our company, or the epilogue?
No epilogue, I pray you, for your play needs no excuse. Never excuse, for when the players are all dead, there needs none to be blamed. Mary, if he that writ it had played Pyramus and hanged himself in Thisbe's garter, it would have been a fine tragedy. And so it is, truly, and very notably discharged. But come, your Bergamask, let your epilogue alone. The iron tongue of midnight hath told 12. Lovers to bed, 'tis almost fairy time. I fear we shall outsleep this coming morn, as much as we this night have overwatched. This palpable gross play hath well beguiled a heavy gate of night. Sweet friends to bed, a fortnight hold we this solemnity, in nightly revels and new jollity.
Now the hungry lion roars, and the wolf behowls the moon, whilst the heavy plowman snores, all his weary tasks foredone. Now the wasted brands do glow, and the screech owl screeching loud puts the wretch that lies in woe in remembrance of a shroud. Now it is the time of night, that the graves all gaping wide, everyone lets forth his sprite, in the church where paths to glide. And we fairies that do run by the triple Hecate's team, from the presence of the sun, following darkness like a dream. Now our frolic not a mouse shall disturb this hallowed house. I am sent with broom before, to sweep the dust behind the door. Through the house give gathering light, by the dead and drowsy fire. Every elf and fairy sprite, half as light as bird from briar. And this ditty after me, sing and dance it trippingly.
First rehearse your song by rote, to each word a wormly note. Hand in hand with fairy grace, we will sing and bless this place.
Now until the break of day, through this house each fairy stray, to the best bride bed will we, which by us shall blessed be. And the issue there create, ever shall be fortunate, so shall all the couples three ever true in loving be. And the blots of nature's hand shall not in their issue stand, never mole, hair, lip, nor scar, nor mark prodigious such as are, despised in nativity, so shall upon their children be. With this field do consecrate, every fairy take his gate, and each several chamber bless, through the palace with sweet peace, and the owner of it blessed, ever shall in safety rest. Trip away, make no stay, meet me all by break of day. If shadows we've offended, think but this, and all is mended. That you have but slumbered here, whilst these visions did appear, and this weak and idle theme no more yielding but a dream. Gentles, do not reprehend, for if you pardon, we will mend. And as I am an honest puck, now to scape the serpent's tongue, we will make amends ere long. Else the puck a liar call. So good night unto you all. Give me your hands if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends.
on YouTube. So you guys, if you want to see that beginning part that was a little weird, within the next week or so, we'll have a nice version up and running. We're also going to be adjusting the closed caption, so if anyone is like, I have no idea what Shakespeare is saying through a mask on a computer, it's a really weird time. We get that. It'll be there so you can even read all the lines. Just give us some time to work that part out. We wanted to make sure that we had this prepared for you guys tonight first off. So thank you all so much for coming. And thank you for this wonderful and amazing cast for sticking through this project for 7 months and seeing it from a read through in September to fruition in March. Oof. On YouTube, so you guys, if you want to see that beginning part, in case you missed the first part, we're also going to be adjusting the closed caption. So if anyone is like, I have no idea what Shakespeare is saying, through a mask. I think we're good that I can just talk again with the mic. Hopefully we don't hear this again in about 10 seconds. I don't like hearing my own voice once. Hearing it multiple times is a little too much for me. One thing we're going to be doing, we'd like for our seniors to be sticking up here. So non-seniors, you're very much loved, but if you guys could all huddle off the stage, or don't huddle. It's COVID time. Spread out off stage. Okay, something we like to do every year is after normally our closing night, I believe, or maybe it's opening. This happens to be both for us. We like to award all of our seniors and thank them for all the work they put on throughout the years. So we've just got a couple things here. So first off, we have Morgan. Morgan has been a great stage manager for the last few shows that I've done here, and she's done even more shows than I've worked on. We also have Patrick. Patrick put a lot of work on this show. A lot of the camera angles you saw were from him. A lot of the slating and helping us with behind the scenes for everything was thanks to Patrick. We have Kylie. Kylie in the past has done a lot of sound for us, and for this show was actually originally in it, but because of scheduling, we weren't able to make it work for spring, but it still contributed a lot to the process earlier on. So thank you, Kylie. We have Rachel, our Oberon. And set designer. So all the sets you saw tonight were all designed. The trees, the method of all that was from wonderful Rachel here. Yeah, they're in the same household. Don't worry. That's why they were so close. Next up, we have Bobby, our Demetrius. Thank you very much, Bobby. And Chris, who was front and center for every single camera shot that we had throughout the show, both fall and spring. So thank you so much, Chris. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. I mean, the fact that this is 1 year to the day from the last time I had to tell an audience not to come to a show to be able to look out here and see an audience, it means the world. It means that we're starting to finally move past some things and bring theater back safely and finding ways to do that. So thank you all for being a part of that. Thank you for following all of our rules and keeping everyone safe. It's been a top priority for us this entire time. So we greatly appreciate that, and we appreciate all of you being here and at home for watching it as well. And 1 second.
And we actually want to thank the directors as well. The ACT board, the ACT board wants to.
The mic doesn't work today.
Okay, well, I'm going to yell this out then. It's been a long time. Can you hear me? I have no idea. The ACT board wants to thank the directors on behalf of the parents and the students and everybody who is not here tonight, because without our amazing staff and without Tom and without Samson, none of us would be here, and we have had one interesting year. I could say a whole lot more about that, but we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because these kids have endured an amazing, bumpy year. So thank you, thank you, thank you for making this night happen. Thank you. And for the two people who are not here tonight, for Nadia, Nadia is our costume, I don't know what her actual, for our costume designer. She did all the amazing costumes. She's not here tonight, but thank you, Nadia. And obviously for Michelle. Michelle, without you, this would not happen, and none of this would happen. So for both of you who are here with us in spirit tonight, we thank you, we love you, we miss you, and thank you, everybody. Have a great night, and sorry, not done.
Me and the rest of the seniors would like, what? Louder. I'm talking loud enough. Would like to thank Tom and Samson. Here, you talk now.
While I stall, we would like to give a very big thanks to Tom and Samson for, heck, we wouldn't be able to do this without them. So big round of applause from everybody. He drove here every day from his house in Minneapolis, and that's a hike to come down here from Minneapolis. And Tom spent hours behind tech. Techies back there do a great job running sound and lights, especially with recording and stuff. But there you guys go. Amen.
I think this is the real goodbye now. Yes. Thank you, everyone. It's been wonderful. We appreciate you all. Have a good night.